Chapter 8, An Elusive Truth. Hopefully you're all having a great day. Morgana has slipped out of the castle again, but this time you, Lancelot, and Arthur are riding in pursuit. Are we certain she went this way? Arthur studies the road, his eyes narrowing in concentration. These tracks are fresh, and no one else has left the city this morning. They almost certainly belong to Morgana's horse. Then shouldn't we be riding faster? Tracking is a delicate business. We need to stay on the trail, but not get close enough for Morgana to realize she's being followed. Very well. Though, if she stole that plant cutting, she may already suspect we're on to her. For a moment, Arthur looks as though he might argue, but as he's done in the past, but he only sighs deeply. Yes, it had to have been Morgana. I'm sorry, Arthur. Only a guilty woman would steal such a thing. I'll go with she could still be innocent. I know that she's surrounded by many suspicious circumstances. That is an understatement. But there could be a reasonable explanation for all of them. We don't know what she intended by taking the plant. After all, she helped me survive our encounter with the questing beast. She doesn't strike me as a murderer. Thank you, Guinevere, for helping me maintain a little perspective. But I am not so certain anymore. Well, if we follow her to her destination, then we can press her for answers, one way or another. Agreed. We'll have to be vigilant as we go. After yesterday, we're taking no chances with your safety. They both drop their hands to their hilts of their swords in unison, their expressions fiercely protective. Fair enough, so long as you have just as much care for your own safety. We will do our best. Despite Arthur and Lancelot's concern, the road is pleasantly quiet as you ride on. It seems like nothing at all could go wrong. Until you reach a fast-flowing river with no clear way to cross. The bridge is out. We'll have to ford it. Your horse whines nervously as you nudge her towards the rushing water. That seems easier said than done. Arthur and I have made crossings like this many times. It would be safest if you rode with one of us, and the other led your horse across. Arthur lifts you gently from your saddle, helping you shift your weight onto his mount. Instead, you sit in front of him and his arms around you. Ready? As I'll ever be. You hold on as he directs his horse into the water. Arthur navigates the rolling currents carefully as Lancelot leads your horse behind him. There's a moment where the water stirs around your ankles and Arthur gently grips on you, tightens. You can feel the warmth of him pressed against your back, a comforting, steadying presence. We're almost there. Don't worry. Why would I worry? The King of England and Excalibur to protect me? My blade cannot do much against swift currents or deep waters, but I, at least, am glad to bring you to safety. As he speaks, his horse trots on a dry land with Lancelot closely behind. You slide down and frown at the riverbank. Your horse's hooves soak the ground as the water slushes off their flanks, but the rest of the bank is almost dry. Morgana must have come through a while ago for the bank to be so dry, longer than we thought. Impossible. She didn't have that much of a head start. You think back to that fight with the questing beast, when you thought you saw a flash of something from Morgana's hands. Unless she used magic to cross more quickly. Is there anything she can't do? She won't escape us, I promise you that. Lancelot follows some near-invisible sign across the grass, grinning in triumph as he points out a faint line of hoofprints. We haven't lost our trail yet. You ride on, alert to every noise on the road, every shape in the distance, until the sun sinks below the horizon. Shouldn't we stop for the night? There is a stand of trees not far ahead.
I'll scout ahead if you two make a camp, and make sure we know which way to go in the morning.
Well, then scout safely, my friend. As Lancelot rides off into the night, you head into a small woodland with Arthur. You slip off your horse and join him in pulling the canvas-wrapped parcels and leather bags from the saddles. You found us a pleasant spot, not far off of the road and close to water. It should serve us well. He quickly sets up a warm campfire, so self-assured and practiced that you can't help but smile. Sometimes I almost forget that you are not only a king, but a knight at the round table. Do you miss going on adventures like this, leaving royal matters and Camelot behind for a little while? He chuckles and nods.
Is it that obvious?
A little. I wish the circumstances of this quest were different, but there's nothing freeing to, or something close freeing to having a single clear goal before you, instead of a dozen vying for your attention at once. Precisely. Right now, for instance, my goal is to get us through a comfortable night's rest. If you'd like to help, we'll need more wood to keep the fire going. Lancelot and I will sleep under a drizzling rain if we must, but that comfort and utility of a campfire is non-negotiable. You gather firewood and help him lay out each of the bedrolls, but as you work side by side, you catch Arthur glancing at you. Is everything alright? Yes, I wanted to thank you for coming with us to search for answers, whether the search ends with my sister or leads further still. It's the least I could do. It isn't, though. The terrible future you've seen was about Camelot and Lancelot and me. You have risked yourself several times over to stop this threat, when it would be far safer to walk away. Perhaps, but I want to be here. For answers about my visions, I'd lean towards it. Camelot's sake. Yeah. Your sake. I'm gonna go with Camelot's sake. I know I'm not picking the heart option, because, meh. I may not have been here long, but I know this kingdom deserves a better fate than what I've foreseen. And thus you've proved my point. Your presence on this quest is a truly selfless act. It means a very great deal to me, Guinevere. If words exist to say how much, I regret that I'm never, or not clever enough to find them. He looks at you with such gratitude and reverence that you feel your cheeks warm. I somehow doubt that's true. Before he can reply, you hear the quiet clumps of hoofbeats approaching. You release Arthur's hands as Lancelot returns.
We're in luck. Morgana has also stopped for the night. She's tied up her horse just a little ways ahead.
That's a relief. After all your work setting up the camp, I would hate to tear it all down and start again. Lancelot eyes the camp with approval, his gaze lingering on the fire and the bedrolls.
Ah, that is a reward for your efforts.
He ties up his own horse and pulls a paper-wrapped parcel from his saddlebag.
Arthur's favorite vegetable pies baked fresh this morning.
I can't believe you remembered.
I can't believe you'd think I'd forget.
You sit around the fire, dividing up the pies for supper. Even after the day's travel, the flaky crust and savory vegetables are delicious. Back when cooking was actually really, really good and savory and delicious. Oh, I miss times like that. You two must have traveled across half the kingdom together over the years.
Ah, across many a hill and dale and multiple kingdoms.
Arthur has been heating a frothy liquid over the fire. Once it steams, he pours most of it into a large mug and offers it to you. That doesn't leave much behind for either of you. We'll live, and I would hate for you to be cold on such a long night. I see. But I am no fragile maid in need of protecting. I promise I won't faint dead away without double shares of food and drink. Of course, but Lancelot might, so if you don't want it. He hands you a smaller mug as you pass yours to Lancelot.
Rude.
Your drink is It's well-spiced combination of milk and alcohol that warms you to your core. Mmm, delicious. An old family recipe with a few modifications Kay and I made in our youth. Very much for the better. I've tasted Sir Hector's original, and well, we should both be grateful for our king's creativity. To creativity, then, and to finding answers on our quest. All too soon, your drinks are gone, fire begins to burn down.
You both should get some rest. I'll keep watch for anything stirring in the woods. Or if Morgana breaks camp.
Absolutely not. We will take shifts on watch, and you will get as much rest as I do.
Is that an order, your majesty?
Yes, Sir Lancelot. If they'll both be taking watch, I could keep one of them company. It would give us some alone time. You know what? I love each and every one of you. I really, truly do. But go to sleep's an option. It's been so long since I turned down a diamond choice. You stifle a yawn, so exhausted from the day's ride that you can barely keep your eyes open. And I will leave you both to your watch, but please don't stay up too long being noble at each other. You slip into your bedroll as Arthur settles beside the fire for the first watch. The moment your head hits the bedroll, sleep takes you. Oh, it sounds so nice, too, after the few days that I've had. Oh, God, the brightness. You wake early the next morning to Lancelot gently shaking your shoulder.
I'm sorry to disturb you, Princess, but Morgana has broken camp.
And we must ride. Do any of you have coffee? The three of you hastily gather your things and swing into the saddle, following Morgana's trail. Before long, you reach a stark border where ancient trees tower menacingly above you, twisting towards the sky. What is this place? Rosenelade Forest. It is one of the ancient places. Stories say it harbors powerful magic within it. Or a powerful sorceress?
That is my fear.
The three of you ride forward. The branches of the trees creak ominously, and out of the corner of your eye, it seems as if they're reaching hungrily for you.
I see no magic yet, but this place is certainly ominous.
I was going to say terrifying. Don't worry, I'll protect you both. Ha! As you venture deeper into the woods, a treacherous mist rises up around the legs of your horses, spirals higher, blanketing the forest until you can barely make out the figures of Lancelot and Arthur looming on either side of you. Wait, didn't we just pass that tree? You're right. We're going in circles. The mist is obscuring the trail. As he speaks, a tendril of mist rises up to curl on your arm like a phantom's fingers. It's more than that. I think the mist is trying to stop us. Lancelot draws his sword, but the mist parts almost mockingly in the path of his blade before reforming to tug at his armor.
Typical magic. Hard to hit with a sword.
Another tendril of mist rises up, attempting to thread between you and your companions. It's trying to separate us. Stay close. The mist swirls around you, between you. It feels like it's everywhere, and it's growing. It's because it's mist. Search for a way through it. You swat tendrils of mist away from your face and try to peer through the shrouded woods. As you twist in one direction from another, it feels like the mist is about to swallow you whole, until you notice the mist growing more dense and insistent when you move leftward. The forest is trying harder to block this path than the others. Arthur, Lancelot, this way. You press on, and when your horse breaks free of the mist, you find yourself in a familiar place. Tall, twisted trees loom over you, grim and imposing, and you remember your dream the morning of the hunt. Morgana must be here. This is the clearing from my vision. You press on to the stone building at the clearing's heart, and a figure steps out to greet you. Brother, I honestly didn't expect you would find me. We might not have, if not for Guinevere. Perhaps she is not a total loss, then.
You should speak to your future queen with more respect, especially after you stole the plant she found at a great cost and set the forest's witchcraft upon her and your own brother.
Morgana sighs and speaks very slowly, as if to a child. The mist would not have hurt any of you. It was simply meant to block your path. Perhaps you foiled it. but it means nothing. So, you do have magic. I knew it. Yes, even the court can spit up a truth amongst its rumors every now and then. But you cannot be here. You need to leave. You're my sister, Morgana. I just want to talk. Leave, or I will make you leave. Oh, okay. Morgana brandishes a hand, and something sparks between her fingers. Wait. Just answer her questions. Unless you want my companions to draw their swords. Are you threatening me?
Hey, you threatened first.
Yes, was that not clear enough? Be careful, Princess Guinevere. I might start to like you. I could care less, Lady Morgana. Your king is asking for your help, and your kin is asking for your help. Fine. Ask your questions and I will answer them, so long as you leave afterward. That will depend on your answers. Tell us about Lady Brusen. Did you know she was trying to poison Arthur? Poison him? I heard Brusen died under strange circumstances, but I had no idea that she
died moments after trying to kill your brother and harm the princess. Well, she did.
Look, I knew Brusen was not fond of Arthur. She disliked his tendency to side with the common peasants. But I was the last person she was likely to confide in with any treacherous assassination plans. We had a falling out.
A conveniently timed falling out.
She had disliked me for quite some time. I was blackmailing her, which people tend not to enjoy. This is true. You were what? Lady Brusen had discovered a secret mine. I was hoping to drive her from court before she divulged it.
Before you can press her further, there's a scuffle of footsteps. A young boy trots out of the stone building to clutch Morgana's skirts.
Who are these people, Mother?
Mother? Morgana rests a protective hand on the boy's shoulder, her expression softening.
You shouldn't be out here. You need rest. But I'm feeling better, I promise.
A cough takes him, and her smile falters. Overtaken by the look of worry, she turns back to all of you with a sigh.
I suppose there's no point in denying the obvious. This is my son, Mordred. Your son? I'm sorry for intruding on your family. You have nothing to fear from us, Mordred. Mother says I shouldn't talk to you strangers, but thank you. I do not think our safety is entirely up to you. Are you going to say anything, Arthur?
Arthur kneels, bringing himself down to the boy's level before holding out a hand. Hello, Mordred. I'm your Uncle Arthur. Mordred opens his mouth to reply, but another cough rattles his small frame. Morgana kneels to rub his back until it passes, and it all becomes clear. The flower you stole, you did not use its species against Brusen, wherein the poison meant for Arthur was to heal Mordred. Yes, I gave the last of my supply to Bryn, so I had to acquire more, which I would have managed if the questing beast had not interfered. Mordred blinks at Arthur curiously as the king remains kneeled in front of him. If you're really my uncle, why have I never met you? I regret that I didn't know I had a nephew. But I know that now. We can make up for lost time by getting to know one another. Absolutely not. Why not, Mother? Morgana's jaw clenches, then she turns Mordred towards the house. Come along, we might as well talk inside. You follow Morgana into a simple stone home. Herbs hang from the walls and ceiling, giving off a floral scent. Arthur, be reasonable. Mordred can never go to court. You know why. Your reputation. My reputation protects us both. But what do you think Arthur's enemies would do if they found a child that connections to the throne? They would try to use him. Morgana, no, we could protect him. Could you promise that? At best, he would be beset upon from all sides upon a dozen schemes. And at worst, she glances to where Mordred has settled on the floor with a carved wooden knight and lowers her voice. His life would be in danger every day. When I found out I was having a child, I swore to keep him safe at any cost. But
this cost? To live alone, raising him without the support of your family, cut off from court? What do I care of the court? I realized long ago that they were always going to revile me as much as they loved you. So once I realized I could not stop the rumors of magic and villainy they spread about me, I embraced them. To protect Mordred against the day he was discovered. To be terrifying. That no one would dare touch him. Sudden dizziness grips you, and Morgana's next words echo between your memories and the present. I did what I had to, and I would do it again. Morgana. I would have done the same in your position. The life of a noble is one of constant exposure. Life of royalty, even more so. Mordred would have never been safe. You understand the situation better than Arthur does. Arthur wasn't born in a castle. I was. You turn to meet his eyes. She's right, Arthur. She did the only thing she could. Arthur's face is carved of guilt as he reaches out to grasp his sister's hand. I'm sorry. You've been through so much I never realized, so much I probably still don't realize. The air around Morgana shimmers, and you suddenly hear the chattering of the court and the soft strains of music. And for a moment, Morgana's features blur, looking younger. I will make them tremble at the thought of drying my ire, and I will never let them see me cry. She looks heartbroken. This must be part of her history that she has never shared, not even with Arthur. See Morgana's vision. This one I'll do. You reach out towards the shimmer around Morgana. The chatter of excited voices swells, lights flare, and then it clears. Now playing is Morgana. In the grand chamber of the round table, revelers celebrate, their cheers almost drowning out the cheerful music. You lift your goblet to your lips and watch as the knights toast your brother. To another victory. The villainous kings of the world, take note. Stop your evil doing, or King Arthur will stop you. Careful, Yvonne. Too much praise, and my head will no longer fit beneath the crown. Arthur looks self-conscious as he waves away their compliments, but his humility only drives the compliments to more dizzying heights. They love him for every breath, spurn my every attempt at kindness. I don't know why I bother. You turn to try to turn away from the festivities, but Arthur makes his way through the crowd, coming straight towards you. Morgana, are you well? Of course. How could I be otherwise, now that the fierce King Arthur has returned? And the fierce Lady Morgana is here to greet me. Your welcome warms my heart, sister. Arthur reaches out to hug you, and your body aches against the warmth you cannot return. You know he speaks the truth. Arthur makes no secret of his compassion for you. It should make the court's disdain easier, but it does not. The cheerful, back-slapping crowd carries Arthur away from you, wordlessly shutting you out of the celebration. It is fine. I do not care for their foolish blathering anymore. I don't. But the feeling of isolation only grows more acute. You slip towards the door, your throat tight with unshed tears, until a low voice speaks your name. Oh God, it's you. Oh God, let's get this over with. Lady Morgana. Lady Morgana, please wait. Against your better judgment, you turn to face one of the most handsome nobles in court. He gives you the gentlest smile you've ever been given in Camelot. Did you need something, Lord Calhoun? I was simply concerned for you. What is wrong? I'm perfectly fine. I don't think you are. You doubt the word of the king's own sister? I believe the proof before my eyes. Perhaps you hide it from the rest of the court, and even your brother, but I see it. And what do you think you see? Sadness. Lord Calhoun clasps your fingers and lifts your hand. The brush of his lips is gentle, sweet, fleeting warmth that lingers like a promise.
From this day forward, I think I shall make it my mission to see you smile, Lady Morgana.
And for a while, he does. Another bouquet of flowers, Lord Calhoun. At this rate, I shall have to plant a garden to find homes for all of them.
You may plant them or scatter them as you wish, my lady, but so long as they make you smile, I will find more.
Then, would you walk with me for a while? So I have someone to help carry this bouquet? While the other courtiers pass you in the hall, keeping a wide berth, he smiles and loops his arm through yours.
It would be my pleasure.
Months pass, months full of more happiness than you could have ever known in Camelot. But one day, you storm into your room, rage simmering in your veins as Lord Calhoun rushes after you. Answer me once and once for all. Are you or are you not plotting to overthrow my brother?
Oh, that little rumor is what's made you so hysterical?
Is that all you have to say?
Well, yes, I'm surprised you're this upset.
You have shared my life and my bed for months while secretly conspiring against my family, and you're surprised I'm upset?
Not your family, Morgana. Arthur.
Arthur is my family. Half-brother or no, I would never betray him.
I expected you would be more grateful. Once he was removed, you can enjoy the position at court that you've always desired. You, the one you deserve, above all their petty gossip and cruel slights.
You're a fool.
Why? Because I'll reach for what I want? You are content to mope around the court wishing the world would love you? I will make it love you.
How? By dying an ill-conceived coup when Arthur's knights learn of your betrayal?
We have a plan. It will work, especially with Arthur's sister on our side.
Oh, so now I'm supposed to help you commit treason.
You've been nothing but envious of Arthur. Why are you protecting him?
Because Arthur cares about me. You may never understand how much his mere existence hurts me, but he still cares. The anger leaves Calhoun's eyes, replaced by familiar sympathy. Sympathy that now makes your mouth feel as if it was full of ash.
Morgana, only a fool wouldn't care about you.
Really? Did you ever truly care about me, or was I just a pawn to bring you one step closer to a throne?
No, I wanted you, Morgana.
Well, you cannot have me. You want to sob, to scream, but you would show him how deeply he has hurt you. So you make your voice as cold as you can, colder than steel. I will ensure that rumors of you and your conspirators reach Arthur's ear within the hour. You can flee and live, or you can stay and die. His eyes widen in disbelief, but when you do not falter, his expression crumbles. Come with me. You'll see that in time that this is the right course of action. I can't. You were dead to me the moment you plotted against my king. I only wish I'd known the truth sooner, or I'd have not wasted so much breath on you. Lord Calhoun scowls at you, all traces of affection and love gone.
And I hope Camelot burns and your precious Arthur with it.
And with those final vicious words, he rushes from the room. Your heart shatters, and you stagger to your desk with a sob. Papers are spread across the desk, love letters from Calhoun that blur as tears overtake you. Oh no, I'm stronger than this. Picking up the letters, you carry them to the hearth. The parchment crumbles in your hands. You struggle for breath. Steel your heart, woman. Love will only weaken it. You toss the stack of letters into the fire and watch the flames consume all the lies he told you. Let the court laugh when he is gone and I am left behind. I'll repay every insult 10 times over. I will make them tremble at the thought of drawing my ire, and I will never let them see me cry. Weeks later, your fingers tremble as you swirl the tea cup for a final time before setting it upside down on the platter in front of you. At least I was able to keep the tea down long enough to drink it. Now, show me what I seek. Bracing yourself, you turn over the teacup and let your mind drift. Magic comes to you more easily than ever these days. Shapes emerge from the leaves left in the bottom of your mug. A stalking wolf, a tree with deep roots, a mask, and one final shape, eclipsing them all. Undeniable. I'm pregnant? Emotions flood through you as the teacup clatters to the table. Confusion, excitement, worry, and a sudden, dreadful certainty. I can't raise a child here. Not with my reputation, not when any connection to the king would make them a pawn from birth. I will not let the court hurt them as it hurt me. I cannot let it eat their happiness alive as it is mine. You stare down into the cup again, with the magic fading. You see the other shapes more clearly. A mask. A secret to be kept. The tree for family. If I raise them somewhere else. The plan unfolds slowly, lifting your heart. A safe place your child could grow up free from the poisons of court. Free in a way you never got to be. I could keep you safe. You touch a hand to your stomach, imagining you can feel the life already growing there. I was wrong. Love will not weaken my heart. It will keep it strong. I will love you enough to make a better world for you, little one, whatever the cost. Now playing as Guinevere. She has been through so much for her brother and her son. And she was born that weight all alone. Force away the lingering shimmer and follow Morgana's voice back to the present. It's not your fault, brother. The court had made up its mind about me long before you found Excalibur. They never had any love for an orphan girl surrounded by rumors of magic. Still, I should have seen more of how the court treated you. I knew they were not as welcoming as you deserved, but I thought I could make up for it through my own welcome of you, even if I could not decree them to feel otherwise. I know, and although I was jealous of how easily they loved you, in scorning you I turned away from the one person who had always offered me compassion. I see that now. Morgana, it's not too late to return that compassion. I know Arthur's presence at court has hurt you, despite his efforts, but right here, right now, you can make amends. I am trying. I am very grateful, equally grateful to know that you had nothing to do with Rusin's fate or the poisoning plot. For all the occasional conflict between us, I could not believe you wished me dead. No, brother, bruised, occasionally, humbled frequently. But if I wanted you dead, I'd do the deed myself. Continuing to threaten Arthur makes it difficult for me to apologize for doubting you. Morgana raises an eyebrow, Lancelot bows. But I do sincerely apologize for suspecting you of treachery. Mediocre, but I suppose I accept. But if she was not behind the poisoning, then who was? That threat was our best hope of stopping my vision. I'm sorry, did you say vision? Briefly, you explain your vision of Camelot's dark future, the smaller visions that led you here, and with every word, Morgana's frown deepens. I've had these visions of all the future all my life, and until recently they always came to pass. Just glimpses of the future? No, sometimes I see glimpses of people's pasts as well. She goes very still, looking you dead in the eye, and you know she's wondering if you've glimpsed her history. I see. So you've seen Camelot's downfall, and yet have no idea how to avert it. But you know more of magic than any of us do. Is there some form of magic that might help us see more? Or me more? Like, find whoever's behind Camelot's ruin? Even if there was, why do you think I would help you? Oh, come on now. For Camelot's sake? No matter whether you share Arthur's dreams for it, it is still your home and mine now. Glance at the king, your betrothed, the knight sworn at your side, both of them grave. I will not leave its people to the fate I have seen. Fine, I agree. Any threat to Camelot's future might also pose a threat to Mordred, and I will not let that happen. Thank you. I've never had visions, but I know a spell that might allow you to see more. Stand here, with Arthur and Lancelot on either side of you. You obey on Morgana's direction. Lancelot reaches out to gingerly lay a hand on your left shoulder. Arthur does the same on your right. For whatever reason, these two are at your heart of the vision, so I want you to concentrate on them. Think about what you know of them. You look to your left, where Lancelot stands, strong, resolute. The only sign of his worry, the slight tremble of his fingers on your shoulder. I know you're strong, noble, and that duty means more to you than anything. Arthur's concern is more obvious, a furrow digging deep between his brow. He squeezes your other shoulder encouragingly. I know that you're generous and kind, that you care about everyone, and that you always put yourself last, and me first. I know what started as an arrangement for me is becoming something more. Morgana steps behind you and puts her fingers to your temples. You feel the tingling warmth, the swirl of power beyond your understanding. Show me more. The vision rushes at you from all sides, fragmented, disjointed, images overlapping. You see flames, you hear a familiar clash of steel. This will not happen. Somehow, I will save you both. The brutal battle plays out as you've seen before, but then the vision twists. In a flash, you see a silhouette of the battlements behind them, watching, or is it reaching for them? Who is that? I have to get closer. You try to move, the image shifts, unfolding new pieces around you. A crimson comet now burns across the sky above Camelot, and beneath it, Lancelot lifts his sword, and a shadow hangs over his face, as if someone is watching this fateful duel on his knees. Arthur pleads. I beg you, do not do this. I have to. But as he speaks, that strange shadow looms over them both, wreathed in smoke and fire. Who are you? Show yourself. You reach through the smoke towards the figure's hood. The vision fractures into 1,000 pieces like a broken mirror. You snap back into your body and stagger, only staying upright because Arthur and Lancelot are holding your arms. Guinevere, are you alright? I'm fine, it just felt so vivid. It would be. We dabble with the elemental forces. Little in life is as implacable as time. What did you see? Explain the visions, trying to put them in order. With every word, Lancelot's expression grows more severe, Arthur is more worried. The shadowed figure you saw, perhaps that is the traitor behind Lady Bruson's treachery, the real threat to us all. I agree, though I know not what connection the figure has with the comet, or that silhouette on the battlements. Merlin often studies the stars. He may know more about the comet. Then we should return to Camelot immediately and continue our investigation. I am finished preparing for the wedding. Kay will be at the end of his patience with all the arrangements by now. Lancelot tenses ever so slightly at the words, so brief that you seem to notice the three of you start towards the door, but Morgana moves suddenly. Wait, before you go, I must know. Will you keep Mordred's secret safe for me? Help me protect him from the others at court? Of course, Morgana. The two of you are my family, you needn't ask. And you have my word as well, on my honor as a knight. And you, Princess Guinevere? Morgana, of course I will keep your secret. Mordred is just a child. He deserves no part in the court's schemes. Her shoulders slump with relief, and for the first time since you've met, she looks at you with real gratitude. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Thank you for the new glimpses you've shown me. I only hope we can stop what is coming before it's too late. Ride back to Camelot is swift. As you trot through the city gates with Arthur and Lancelot, your latest vision swims in your mind's eye. I am glad to know we can trust Morgana, but the things I've seen only raise more questions. So long as there's no sign of the comet you saw in the sky, we should still have time to find it. My lady, look out! As you ride through the square, Lancelot suddenly reaches towards you as a shadow moves on a rooftop. What? There's a flash of movement, and a fainting, whistling noise overhead. You look up to see an arrow arcing through the air. Guinevere. Right towards you. But they have time enough to call out your name. I'm just saying. Like you hear... Like, how long does the whistling take to get to me? Like... Is it in slow motion? This is serious. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like and share if you did enjoy. And if you want more content, remember to sub to the channel. It'd be great to have you. And also head down to the description of the video. Plenty of cool links and stuff down there. Great ways of supporting the channel and whatnot. And without further ado, hopefully you're all doing well. Far weller than me. Pretty much for the third, give or take, maybe fourth day in a row. I don't know, I've lost track at this point. Because of fevers and everything else. I had to literally break my fever about an hour or so before I started choices, so... kind of just... Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I started this chapter over once, because I thought I read something, like a few things wrong, actually, and I was actually right. There's been a few grammatical errors that I saw in choices things, right? And... I don't know if you guys picked that up too. At the very beginning of this chapter, there was a couple things that were really, really wrong. And, you know, that's one of the reasons why I read about 98% of the shit that they put in here, but there's sometimes that I will, be a little creative or just do things my way or what I believe is correct, especially as a person who, just sees it one way or would say it one way myself, and as a person who you know, has wrote stories, and just someone who tries to be grammatically correct, something so much so that, you know, a college professor would be proud at times, versus, you know, what Choices does that an elementary school teacher would not be proud of. But anyway, once again, thank you all for watching. Love your beautiful faces, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.